I'm kind of bored because hold on, wait me a while. Let me fix
Yeah,
something.
okay.
Um,
Oh,
my
technical
my body
difficulty?
kind of hurt today though.
From what?
I have a match yesterday, which
What,
three
what,
round
what
and
do you
two
play?
minutes.
Huh?
Play boxing.
Oh, boxing. You box? Like what,
Yeah,
competitively or just for
yeah.
fun?
Competitive.
Oh, wow. Okay. Like amateur
I have
or what's?
yeah,
Oh, okay. How long you been
yeah. I am
boxing?
about 1 month and 1 years.
1 year. Okay. And you're
Yeah,
already like it
more
was an
than 1 years.
official.
I think so.
Oh, like was it an official amateur fight or do you mean like it's training?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't
Kind of
know
official though.
it
I
was.
have like
Oh, okay.
I I have 4 fight for match.
hmm 4 matches.
Yeah,
Like for so
yeah.
for amateur, do you like I know in professional boxing they don't they fight like every few well maybe like 2 times a year at most. What about for amateur? It's more often, right?
Uh, yeah. Amateur will be like 2 month or 3 month for one
Ah,
match.
oh, okay. Still a bit of
Mm,
time in between, right?
for
Wow. So
yeah, for an professional, as I remember, it will be like 6 month or 4 month for a match,
mm, that's awesome. So
and the time
mhm.
and the match is longer though. Like for amateur, we only fight 3 or 4 rounds, but the
Like
professional
maximum?
they have 10 round. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So they cap it
Professional
off at
maximum,
3 or 4?
yeah, but professional will be 12 or 10 or 8.
Yeah. hmm Okay. That's good. Is that your main like main activity?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do box every day.
Oh wow. Every day. Oh my God. I think I have never tried like a
Um,
combat sports before, but I want to try something.
uh,
Do you recommend it for somebody
mm,
who like doesn't know anything about combat sports?
if you want to use only hand, you can. I mean, if you want to do combat sport with only arms, you should
Mhm.
pick boxing. But
Yeah.
if you want to play a combat sport that use like everything in your body, you should do MMA or
Mm.
kickboxing or Muay Thai.
Kickboxing. Yeah. Muay Thai. Yeah. Yeah. I've been
Yeah.
exploring something. Uh, Maybe is MMA? Is it easy to find a gym that does MMA that train MMA? I mean, just as for sport.
There are a lot.
A lot? Oh, I didn't know MMA
MMA
was
will
popular here.
in Vietnam, MMA is less than boxing, but yeah, in all the
Mm.
country, MMA will be a lot.
Yeah, so it should be
Vietnam
easy to
mainly
find, right?
yeah. In Vietnam, there mainly are uh Taekwondo, Karate, or Vô Vietnam.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think I probably MMA then. I think that would be the most useful. So as far as, you know, like self-defense, right?
Just lock your neck and already won a 1v1 match.
For boxing or what?
In MMA, there will be a skill that called a headlock or neck lock. They
Uh,
use
uh,
that
uh.
for, yeah, you know that.
Yeah, it's like
Like,
for the grappling, right? There's a grappling part too, right?
yeah,
Mm.
it's from Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Mm. BJJ.
Yeah.
Oh, that's something I want to explore too. But it's too much. I want to do everything, but there's no time and no money.
Uh,
What made you
mm,
want to get into boxing though? Like at the beginning?
I used to get bullied. That's all.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, that's that's a common reason for people to get into combat sport. But yeah,
Yeah,
hopefully,
I
I
just
mean, yeah.
I just thought that I get into boxing just for self-defense, but
Hmm.
for today I want to become a champion though. I want to
Yeah.
become a professional one.
Okay, okay. Big dreams. Yeah, you never know, right? Oh, give me 1 second. Let me plug in my laptop.
I will check
Oh,
my
that's awesome.
uh I'll check my headphones though. I don't know what happened for it. Let's see. Uh, okay, let's see. Okay, okay.
Can you hear me? Good.
Yeah,
All right, so we
prob
can
that.
just get started for the speaking, and then the rest I'll send you the test. Reading,
Okay.
listening, and then writing. I'll just give you like um a prompt for you to just to see, what your current level is. But basing off of our conversation right now, everything seems good. I mean, you should be able to, right? What do you? So have you taken the IELTS before, the official, or just
Uh,
mock testing?
yeah, just mock testing.
Okay. And it was at what level?
I haven't do the official before.
Uh-huh.
Wait, hold on. Uh, okay now.
Okay. Good. And you did the mock test with like another center, or how where did you do that?
Yeah, I do that in another center. Yeah.
And they rated your score at what level? Five something, 5.5?
Uh, as I remember that I do the speaking is 6.0. I don't know why. And
Oh,
reading
okay.
is
And then
5.5, and on the other is 5.0. I don't know.
mm, okay. So speaking it seems to be your strong point, you know.
I think so.
Okay. So what is the trouble with the other skills? Listening, reading, and writing? Oh, what about writing? Did you say
Wait, can you say again? I cannot hear properly.
and did you say what your score was for writing?
Mm, 5.0 or
Uh,
4.5. I kind of bad that. I'm kind of bad at that.
okay. All right. So does that kind of line up with what you think about your own abilities right now? Like the strong point being speaking, and then the other three skills are, still quite weak. Is that kind of
I will make reading and reading being the average one, and if I want, I will make the speaking will be 8.5, and on the other is 7.5 or 7.0.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think basing off of this conversation, right? So I think you'll be able to improve quite
Yeah.
fast with speaking. I don't know about reading reading and listening. It's a
Yeah.
lot about just building up your vocabulary and just practicing, like just spending the time, basically. It's not really much like in terms of in class, not much that I can um right. It takes a lot of time, so you don't really want to waste time in class to like reading, like spend like an hour reading. That's just not very productive. So basically, what I usually do is for those skills that you can do by yourself, I just give you like a um, strategies, like different strategies, how to approach different things on different parts, different types of questions. Yeah, it's mainly that, and then you having to build up your vocabulary, and then listening you can do kind of passively also. But yeah, but mainly it's gonna be the speaking. If you put in the work, definitely you'll be able to bring up your score quite quickly.
Understand.
Yeah. So yeah, let's today we'll just do like a quick mock speaking test. Just try to so are you still familiar? Do you remember the basic format of the speaking?
I take 7 and 30, 7:30.
What did you mean 7:30? Or
I
seven?
remember 7% and I forgotten the 30%.
Oh, like you remember 70%? Yeah, so the basic format is the three parts, right? Part one, part two, part
Yeah.
three. Part one usually is kind of softball questions, or more like introducing yourself still. So something quite well, like personal information, not that personal, but just sharing about yourself, right? Um, and then part two is like usually people are scared of part two because they have to speak for maximum of 2 minutes. You don't have to, but it's very much recommended that you speak until
Mm,
the examiner stops you, right? So always just keep talking, right? Keep talking until they stop you. And then part three is going to be related to part two, the topic, right? It's going to come off of the topic of part two. So for example, if part two is like on something about sports, like tell me about a sport that you've only seen on TV, or you've only watched other people play but you've never played before. Then part three is going to be still on the topic of sports, but it's going to ask you like higher level questions. I mean, like it
ah,
gets into opinions. It goes broader, like not talking about you specifically with sports. Like, do you play this sport? No, that's part two. But then part three will be like, is sport important? Like you know, for the community, is sport important? Like international sport, is it important, or is it like a valuable part of people's lives, like all across the world? So it's bigger, right? It goes broader in scale, right? So that's um, just a quick look at the
understandable.
format, just so you know what to expect. But don't worry too much. It's just the starting point for now, right? So yeah, I will keep time for everything, and then for part one, I'll just ask you questions. Um, there's no like, strict time limit, but usually you're looking for each question, each answer that you give. Aim for about 30 seconds, 20 to 30 seconds, maximum like 35, 40. But part one is short answers, pretty short, like a few sentences. Right? You're not talking for a minute or more. And they will, stop or tell you to, okay, thank you very much, and move on, right? Because there's quite a few questions for part one, so you can't take that long to answer each question. Right? Are you
Understand.
following along? Like your listening is quite good too, right?
I'm Dave.
I mean, like just this conversationally, you
Yeah,
you
I can
understand
hear
quite well.
properly.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Yeah. So just tell me if I'm speaking too fast. Sometimes I forget to
It's
slow
okay.
down.
I can hear it. Okay.
Okay, good. All right. So I will be keeping track of the time, right? So roughly the official test is going to be from anywhere from 11 to 14 to 15 minutes in total, all three parts,
Oh,
right? 11 because, some people talk, more than others. So that's just the normal range. Also, actually, I need like two timers. So yeah, the only thing for so part one, yeah, just kind of pace yourself. Look for around 20 to 30 seconds each answer. And then part two is actually I will show you what is called is a cue card with the prompt for the part two, right? And I will share that when we get to part two. So you can read, and then I will set a timer for 1 minute where you can take note. Depending on what style of note taking you do, you can do it just mentally, or you can write down. You will get like on the test, you will get a pencil and a blank piece of paper for you to take notes. And it's just you don't have to, of course, you don't have to take note. But yeah, so the aim is to speak uninterrupted. So the long term, you will not be interrupted until 2 minutes is up, right? So there's no back and forth. And then
Uh,
usually there will be like a one or two follow-up question after you have spoken for 2 minutes, like something that they want to clarify or just to ask more about what you said. Based on what you said, they will ask like one or two additional questions for part two, and then we will move on to part three, where, as I explained, it's going to be a little bit more higher level, and and yeah, just a few more questions, part three. Let me just get it set up here. And so, do you consider yourself to be like somebody who is you said you're in the 10th or 11th grade? 11th, right?
I just moved to 11 grade. Yeah,
Oh,
just
right,
moved
right,
it
right.
to.
Now it's summer, right? So next year will be 11th, yeah?
Yeah,
Okay, okay. And your timeline is quite long, right? Over a year?
yeah.
Okay.
More than 1 years.
Hmm. All right. So I'll just set one for 10 minutes. Okay, so typically you will come into the room. It will just be you and the examiner, and they'll ask you just the regular hello, hello, how are you, blah blah blah, just introductions, right? You'll be asked to
Yeah,
sit down, and then yeah, ask for your ID, I guess, right? And then full name,
Rob.
right? And then we'll get the official test started. So okay, so let's do that right now. We'll start. Um,
I need to get a haircut for you.
Me too. It's
Kind of messy,
it's
you
too
know.
messy. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've been wanting to try a longer hairstyle, but it's not. I'm too lazy to keep up with
Mm.
it.
I want to get a great hairstyle though, but I don't know which one is good for me.
Yeah, yeah. I always just go to the barber and just tell you. I mean, you're the expert. Can you just like give me some recommendation? And they always just trying to ask me. I don't know. Just look at my face and see what fits.
Let's see. Hope we don't get a bad hairstyle though.
Yeah, yeah. Especially if you do short hair, like it takes a while to grow back out. So. Um, Yeah, in
Jesus.
summer it's so messy, very hot. Mm,
I want to cut a shorter one, but my I see that my face shape wasn't able to cut a hair a short one.
mhm. But he wasn't able to cut short hair.
Yeah, cause my face shape that kind of look like an egg.
Oh, egg, like a
Yeah,
bowl cut. Um,
I swear to God. Let me see. Never mind.
okay, okay, we can. Oops, get started here.
Hmm.
All right. So, hello. Please tell me your full name and what would you prefer to be called?
My full name is Nguyễn Hoàng Gia, and if you translate Hoàng Gia to English, it will be royal.
Okay. And then can I just call you Hoàng Gia?
Just call me Gia. It will be
Okay.
shorter.
Okay, good. All right. So let's get started on part one. Um,
Okay,
what do you do? Are you currently working or are you still a student?
I'm still a student.
Now you have to aim for 20 to 30 seconds answers.
Hmm. What should I say for you? I'm still a grade 11 student in a high school.
Anything else?
Nope.
No, it's okay. All right. And then what are you currently studying, but or what is your favorite subject in school right now?
Prob it is PE and IT. Yeah, those two
Okay.
are kind of great for me though. For
Okay.
IT, I always typing code and trying to make something new. Like in I have an app called uh, Tony for typing Python code. You know that?
An app?
Yeah, I mean a program app for typing code. Yeah, I kind of like
Mm,
IT though. It
IDE.
kind of
Okay.
hard, but yeah, interested.
Okay. So tell me about your typical day. What is it like?
Mm, Nothing interested for you. I just go to school from day to afternoon and go to study at night. But yeah, I still have like 2 or 3 hours for doing for playing boxing and training in 3 hours. I just hope that I have enough time for training more cause my school just have a little bit, just don't really have time for training. Hope I can get more time though.
Okay. And then is every day kind of do you go through the same routine every day?
Yeah, always the same. Go to study, going to eat, showering, go training and study and going to sleep. If it was
Mm,
like 2 years ago, I'm kind of lazy and liking to playing games. I just go to school and study and sleeping in school, and I come back home and playing games all day. Just like a nerd, I think so.
okay. And is there anything that you would like to change about your daily routine?
Yeah, I want to learn studying in my school and have more time for training. It will be better.
Okay. And do you prefer to study or at night or in the morning, and why?
I prefer studying at morning. For me, in the night, it will be better for staying rest, and it will help our brain cell have time to resist that, and it will get stress. Yeah. Many people say that studying in morning will better than studying in night because you can remember better.
Okay. Okay, so let's go on to the topic of hometown. So, where is your hometown? Can you tell me a bit about it?
Mm, I'm typically in Vĩnh Phúc, and prom now it is Phú Thọ because it have combined to each other. And prom I'm staying in Phú Thọ right now though. Um, In Phú Thọ, kind of bored. There's nothing to do. For you, I'm always staying at home or going to the gym to training or just walking all days in the village. Yeah, I hope there's
Okay.
something better than just to old and not have anything to do. Boring.
Okay. Okay. So it seems you find it quite boring most of the time, but what is the thing that you like most about your hometown?
Um, Only one is fresh air and I still can go to training. There are quite a lot of gym, yeah, old gym. The what do you call the items? It still can be used. Yeah, still new.
Okay. And has your hometown changed much in recent years?
Nah, not really. Still old and boring. Nothing new. Except there are only a new KFC store. Yeah, that's a new one.
Okay. So would you recommend it as a place to live to somebody? Why or why not?
If you want to stay in my if you want to stay in a Phú Thọ, you what should I say? If you want to for resting and a fresh air, you can go to Phú Thọ because yeah, it's kind of peacefully because not many factory have built there. I think there are only one factory though, so that's why the air over there is very fresh and always conditioning. And you can climbing mountain or walking and seeing the river. Yeah.
Okay, very good. And what do you usually do in your free time?
Watching TikTok and YouTube, and I'm doing shadow boxing alone. Or I will just go to sleep.
Okay. And how often do you spend time with your friends?
Proper like if I'm still at school, prop every day. I'm spend time with my friend every day, but it is summer now, so yeah, just like a little bit, 2, 3, 4, or even 1 hour, 2 hour. Yeah.
Okay. And do you prefer indoors or outdoor activities and why?
Yeah, I prefer outdoor. Yeah, I hate to stay indoor a long time though. It make my body feel stinky and slow. Yeah, staying outdoor is always better because I can breathe more properly.
Okay, good. All right, so let's move on to part two, okay? Um,
Okay.
So now I will share with you the cue card.
Mhm.
Let me and so okay, once I share, so so do you take notes or do you just kind of do a mental note taking, mental preparation?
Yeah, I'll use my brain.
Just okay.
I just doesn't like to write at all.
hmm Okay, so once I share the screen with you, you will have
Yeah.
1 minute, right, to kind of think about what you're going to say. Okay?
Okay.
Oops. Just give me 1 second.
Jesus.
All right, you can see, right?
Uh, yeah, I see that. I see that.
Okay, so your 1 minute of note taking starts now.
Okay. Ah, I see that. Yeah. Back.
Okay, so please now take up to 2 minutes to respond to this prompt.
Mm, for me, the most important thing to me was my first boxing glove for professional training. It was why it is so blur. Here. It was a boxing glove from fighting brand I have bought for 1 years ago. After I have like 3 or 4 months of training, I have to buy new glove for better training. So I asked my coach for what is the most like the cheapest and greatest for sparring or and witness part training and back walk. So he recommended me a glove from this brand. I have used this for like almost 7 months. Yeah, 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 yeah. Almost 7 months. And I use it like every day though. In almost all my training, I have to use this glove and punching the bag or punching the bag and yeah, even in sparring like fighting with other people, I have to use it. Like every time I'm training, I have to wear this and um I have to use it every time though. So it kind of look old now, like many places are got scratches, but yeah, it still look new to be honest. Mm, yeah. So yeah, the reason it was still very important for me was it is the first one I ever handled, and it helped me win one like 4 match, and I'm still undefeated with it. Yeah, that's all.
Okay, thank you very much. And then now we can move on to part three. Okay, so now I'll just stop sharing. You don't need that anymore.
Okay, okay. Mm.
All right. So that was almost 2 minutes,
Oh,
like 153.
oh, okay, okay.
All right, so on to part three. So off of the topic in part two about something important to you, why do people value some objects more than others?
Hmm. For me, because something belong to them for a long time, so they don't want to lose it though. Like yeah, some people have just their phone, mobile phone, or even like a very old notebook they have drawn in there when they are young. So it have a lot of memories of them in that object. So they still keep it and love it the most.
Okay. So do you think people's attitudes towards possessions are changing?
Problem it was training because People always trying to change themselves and they want to being better and like they want to get more experience and leveling up their self so they can being better.
Okay. And in your culture, what kinds of things are considered valuable?
Mm, actually, about our culture, I don't really know. Like on the old item that still can usable, it always being the most and the thing people that they want to keep the most. If they are still be uses or it can still fix and use it again, they will always keep that and leave it for a long time. Like my dad protocol before I was born. So yeah, because it was still look new and usable, he keep it until today.
Okay. And do people generally become more or less materialistic as they get older?
Problem they will be less because some people when they get old they won't buy new items. They only keep the old one. Probably it will bring back a lot of memories for them, so they still can stay comfortable and like happy. I think so. Like well, old people only always love the old era because when you're getting older and older, the old thing will time with time it will lost and doesn't stay with you anymore. If you still have that, it will be a long memories.
Okay. And how do advertisements influence what people value or want to own?
Can you say again? I cannot hear it.
How do advertisements influence what people value or want to own?
I don't really know about this object. Like, yeah, I cannot tell because people choice though.
Okay. And finally, do you think it's better to own things or to share them through renting, borrowing versus buying?
What? Hold. My speaker kind of bad though. Wait, let me check again.
Can you hear me?
Okay, that can you say again? My speaker kind of
Yeah.
bad.
Okay. Yeah. So, last question. Do you think it's better to own things or to share them? So, for example, renting, borrowing versus buying something.
Mm. Prop owned will always be better because you don't have to give them because yeah, you bought it by yourself. So when it already yours now, you don't have to think that oh, when will I give it back to the others? Because it's already yours now. But when you borrow, you have always think that you have to keep it like doesn't have any scratch or broken, so you can give back. Yeah. So for me,
Okay.
ounce or already book it always better than borrowing or renting.
Mm, okay. Very good. All right. Thank you very much. That's all. Yeah. And after the test, they'll just be like, yeah, thank you. And then you can go. Yeah.
Uh,
So let's do a little review of our mock test.
uh,
This is just, just kind of like a assessment. So it's not perfect in terms of
mm-hmm.
how the actual test will be uh, conducted. They will be a lot more strict, like, and also you're going to be face to face. So so there's not going to be like technical issues, so things like that. It won't be a problem, right? And you can like, but you can still like ask to repeat the question. That's okay.
Understand.
Okay, so let's just go back all the way through from part one. But first, overall, I think you speak quite confidently, so that I don't think that's much of a problem. Because I see
Oh.
a lot of people who get nervous. How did you feel?
I feel normal. Nothing much though.
Normal. Good, good. Yeah, I mean, mm, sometimes people even get nervous when they're practicing, right? So I'm like, the real test is gonna be a lot worse than. So you
Oh.
should deal with that issue. You should address it now. Like if you get nervous in a test environment, then it will affect your performance a lot. So
Understand.
yeah, so it's already you have a head start. You don't feel nervous, right? Quite confident in your answers. But that's one thing. But when it comes to the content of your answer, I think that's yeah. I mean, language, vocab use, grammar use. There's quite a bit of a mistake still. Um,
Understand.
yeah. So those are the things that we can address if we have class together. So now let's just kind of dissect, piece by piece, what you did good, what you could improve more. Yeah, so tell me full name, da da da. So that's okay. Yeah, but yeah, when they ask you your full name, just say my full name is perfect, right? You said da da da, and you can call me or please call me like this for short or something like that. If it's not, or if you have a nickname you would prefer, right? But it doesn't matter too much, right? Just giving information. And then what do you do? Are you currently a student or are you working? So, yeah, once it would be obvious for you, right? You say
Yeah.
that you're still in high school, so you're probably a student. But in case that could be like university students, and they study as well as do a part-time job or something. That's why this question is, what do you do? Or maybe both, right? Um, and then question three, why did you, or the question was, why did you choose this job or field? But because you're still in high school, they like I did also, but they would change the question to fit your situation. So like because you probably didn't choose, right? Choose what to study just based on the
Mm.
curriculum, right? So yeah, I just changed it to, what is your favorite subject to study in school? So you mentioned PE, da da da, but maybe a little bit more explanation, right? Why? Why is it PE? Typically, students say PE because it's kind of like an easy class, like a chill class. You don't really have to do a whole lot. Or it could be like the sports that you do in that class, right? So yeah, give
Understand.
more, yeah, explanation. Why, right? Also, always think about why. And so even for questions like this, what is your favorite subject? Um, try to give more than just yes or no, or I like this, I like that, right? My favorite is this. That is too short, right? You need to expand a little bit more and elaborate, and then switch to the routine. So, what's a typical day like for you? Right. Okay. So, class in the morning to afternoon, da da, and then you hope to have more time for training. Yeah. So, a bit more structure, right, is good. But this one is kind of easy for structuring your answer, right? So from the morning to the afternoon, typically I just go to school. So I have my studies. And then in the afternoon, I have more free time. And so I devote it mostly to my training. But did you mention like boxing training,
Yeah.
like in the answer? right? So think don't assume that the examiner already knows what you're talking about, right? So if you mention, oh, in the afternoon, I like to have like, a couple of hours to train, but then you need to kind of explain what is this training like. So I do boxing. I've been training boxing for the last year, right? And so I'm really getting into it nowadays. And so I want to devote more and more time uh, to the training every day if I could, right? And then do you usually have the same routine every day? Yeah, pretty much. So you mentioned, yeah, I kind of have a sort of boring, rigid routine. It's pretty much the same thing every day in and day out. Right? So that's another thing. Vocab and lexical resource. Lexical resource is just including everything, not just vocab, but it could be like
Understand.
collocation, right? And that the more technical things you will learn later. But yeah, basically, let's just call it vocab for now. Day in and day out, right? It's always the same routine, right? And then you can go into like, oh, actually, I kind of like it because I don't have to, or I don't get surprised by anything, right? Then the next day is going to be the same as the previous, and so pretty much no surprises. And I like keeping to a routine. It helps me, stick to my plans, right? Study, eat, train. But 2 years ago, I was quite lazy playing video games a lot. Right, good, good. So yes, that's good that you showed that there has been a change in your routine, like in the last year or so, right? So instead of
Yeah.
playing video games now, you devote that time to training. So yeah, good. Always think about how you can incorporate or how you can include like comparison, like back then versus now, and maybe in the future, I hope to do this or that, right? So very good on that. And then anything you want to change, would like to change about your daily routine. Again, you kind of emphasize that you want to spend more time training if you could, right? So yeah, this is a good time, just a sneak peek into like different types of sentences. So this would be like a conditional sentence. Like, so if I had more time, I would definitely want to shift my routine so that I can spend more of it for training because that's what I love to do the most. I enjoy that training time the most. So if I could, I that's what I would change, right? If conditional, right? So that's a perfect opportunity for you to use conditional. And then the
I
last
see.
question uh for that part, do you prefer to study work in the morning or the evening? So okay, so you said morning, right?
Yeah.
Morning, night is for rest so that your brain I didn't hear you said something about your brain or your cells can resist.
Yeah.
Do,
No,
do you
I
remember that?
mean
What did you mean by that?
it can rest, so it will be better.
Rest,
Yeah.
like rejuvenate,
Yeah.
recover. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah.
basically your brain and your body can recover. So just yeah, so basically just leave the nighttime for resting. That's good, right? So you can even bring up like the
Uh,
fact that you've been into boxing and so you understand that it is very important that your body and your mind gets the proper amount of rest, right? In order to recover, right? So you can include something like that. So that's more like specifically your experience. So it's always good to include your own personal experience because part one is kind of about you, all about you, right? So yeah, just a little tip there of what you can possibly say. Um, and then you mentioned also like stress, like doing the hard things in the morning. It helps with stress management. So generally, mornings are better for studying or working. And then back to hometown in Phuc. And then you mentioned, oh, now it's recently it converted or it's kind of like all. They shift
Oh.
the like the I don't know how would you even say it? Like they changed like the regions, right? They kind of push some things together or some areas together. And so Vĩnh Phúc now just is part of Phú Thọ, right? Okay, good. Um, and you kind of mentioned it's quite boring, not much to do there, but just walking and you training. Where is your hometown? So this question is quite open. You can pretty much say anything about your hometown, but you have to address like where it is, right? So you should assume that if it's somewhere not like in Hanoi or something, right? Then the examiner might not know where it is you're talking about. So you could include like a little bit of Phu Thọ, which is kind of like what direction from Hanoi, if you want, right? Like or include like a how many kilometers or how long it would take to get from Hanoi or something like that. Like for example, because I'm from my hometown is Ninh, so I would say like it's Ninh, but now they probably know where that is, but I still assume that they don't know. So I would say like, so my hometown is in Ninh, where it's about a 2 hours journey from Hanoi or to the south of Hanoi, right? Just kind of give a little bit more information, explanation. You don't have to, but it's just a automatic thing that you can include. What do you like most about it? Yeah, so pretty much because you already said that it's quite boring, not much to do there. So now the next question is like, what do you like most about it? So it's a perfect chance for you to say if again with the conditional. It's like, well, if I had to choose, right? If I had to choose, because here you are being made to choose, you have to choose. So if I had to choose, I would just say the fresh air. Yeah, because there's no factories there. Very good. Right? So it's not industrial, right? Pretty much still is it countryside? Is that a countryside area or still kind of in the city? Can you hear me?
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
I'm so sorry. My bad.
Muted? You were muted?
Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, yeah. That's okay. And so that area is you live in an area that's countryside or still city?
Um, for now, I'm in summer. I'm staying in Ocean Park. Yeah, it was a city,
Okay.
kinda.
Yeah, so fresh air mentioned also like is that part of but we're talking about like um your hometown. So just basically like where you were born, right? So just uh if it's um countryside area, just mention that because it's countryside, it's not been touched by, the industry, right? Industrial uh factories. Then the area is still quite fresh. I can still go outside and, enjoy fresh air, right? Unlike the city. But good. And then also you mentioned the gym, right? But still very available, like facilities for training. Yeah,
Yeah.
very accessible. Yeah, and change in recent years, pretty much nothing. Good, good. So you mentioned, yeah, so looking back, yeah, pretty much nothing has changed, right? It's the same old boring town. But maybe the new KFC store. That's pretty much the only thing that comes to my mind when thinking about changes in recent years. Yeah, that's the perfect answer. Just in terms of the content, right? We can always like modify and improve the language that you use, but overall, the content of the answer is great.
Mm,
Would you recommend it as a
yeah.
place to live? Yeah, it's good. If you enjoy, the peacefulness there, right? Oh, here is when you mentioned like no factory, so fresh air again. And still some activities, if you enjoy them, like climbing mountains or hiking, right? Hiking up mountains and then maybe swimming in the river, fresh air and fresh water. If that's your thing, yes, I would recommend it to you. But if you're more like a city person, then no, right? So be a bit more direct. If you could, or if you want to, right? You don't have to say like yes or no. You can be like, if you enjoy these things, then yes, I recommend it to you. Otherwise, no, I would not. That's also acceptable, right? You don't have to always start with yes or no when it comes to yes or no questions, right? Mm, okay, and then free time, yeah, TikTok, YouTube, so um, boxing, sleep. Pretty much just kind of like a list of the things you do. Maybe mention what part of that is your most or is your favorite. So probably the boxing, right? Right. So mention now kind of like bring back your love for boxing. Because I'm so obsessed with boxing right now that even in my free time, I would even when I don't have my equipment, I would just shadow box, right?
Yeah.
Anytime, anywhere. Right. So it kind of brings in the element that, oh yeah, this is my current obsession. I've been obsessed with this sport. And then how often do you spend time? This one with your friends, but it's a little bit unclear, like at like 1 to 2 hours every day during the school year. But then now it's summertime, so a little bit. I spend time with my friend a little bit. But you said something like 2, 3 hours, but then you didn't say like every day or every week. Right? So make sure that you are clear, like the frequency, like how much you spend. Is it per day or per week? Or you don't even have to be specific. You can just say like, since it is summertime now, and everybody is, off in their own, to their own uh, different plans, right? Traveling, going to their hometowns or whatever. And so I don't get to see my friends a whole lot over the summer, right? Something like that is fine. Don't have to always be specific or 1 or 2 hours. And then preferring outdoor or indoor activities, prefer outdoor, right? But still have to stay indoor a lot of time because of your, I guess, boxing, other activities that you have to stay inside. You can breathe a lot easier when you are outside. Okay, good. All right. So, and then on to part two. Hmm.
Can I ask, do you know how to buy Amazon Prime?
Do I, what do you mean? I don't think you can buy it from Vietnam. Or do you
Oh
mean like buy the
man.
membership? Why do you
Yeah.
want?
I need I
Oh,
need a
you mean
member.
you just want to watch or use the other services, like watching Amazon TV, or you don't want
I
to
need to
buy
watch
like why? You can
I just
just
need to
you
watch
can down
I don't know.
huh?
Just one I just need one day for a match from top one in my
Oh,
country, fight with Japanese in our
oh,
country. Yeah, Vietnam.
oh, I don't know if you can even buy it from Vietnam.
How about VPN though?
I mean like I'm not sure. I haven't tried. But why don't you
Very
just Google
exciting.
for it's a live stream, right? Live event.
Yeah, a live event though.
Mm. Just Google it. I think you can find like a free. I don't think you can buy for one day.
Oh man, it's okay for 1 month. I just need to watch this match.
Or just look for. I've been able to find pretty much anything just Googling. There's some websites. Um,
Let me try my best.
yeah. Okay. So part two. Mm, so yeah, I mentioned earlier there was almost 2 minutes. It's good, but just in case, always just let them stop you. So it was what it is, boxing glove. So right away, there's issues with uh like vocab, like what word do you use to say my boxing gloves? Okay, boxing gloves. Okay, but then later on you mention my first gloves. You would say my first pair of gloves, right? Pair of gloves. So that's basic vocab, but it shows that you have good command, right? That you know when to use pair, like pair of pants, pair of shoes, pair of scissors, instead of just like a scissor or a glove, right? Usually you're talking about a pair, right?
Oh,
Freedom, yeah,
yeah.
and then you mentioned how long have you, okay, 1 year ago. And what do you use it for? Well, obviously for boxing, right? So so mention maybe they're a very or they're a quality pair of gloves. And even now I still use them, even though they have some scratches, but they're still intact, means they haven't like degraded in quality very much. So that
Yeah,
it's
for
very
real.
meaningful to you. Yeah, meaningful to you, important to you. So why was it meaningful to me? You mentioned like somebody got it for you, right? And you're still undefeated with them. So perfect example of why, right? And giving like specific examples, personal examples. That's very good. But yeah, overall, just I would say like the structure, how you structure it needs a little bit of work and vocab also. What do you use it for? And maybe mention like if it's special to you, do you only, so I would ask you more like, do you also use it for training, or is it a special pair of gloves that only you only use them for matches? So mention that, right?
Yeah. I just mentioned that I use it for all though, in
For everything.
everything.
Okay. Okay. So maybe even like ideally, I would only use these for special occasions or for matches, for official matches. But
Oh,
I love them so much that I use them for everything, for even for my training. For hit, oh yeah, you did say like for hitting the bag, the sandbag, the heavy bag. Or what
yeah.
is it called? Yeah, that's a perfect chance for you to use like specific vocabulary for boxing. And
Yeah.
maybe the examiner might not even know the technical terms, but still it still shows that you know how to use, in your area. So in boxing, you know the specific terms, like the heavy bag, hitting the heavy bag, shadow boxing, things like that, right? So use that.
Yeah.
Use your knowledge more because this is perfect, right? Perfect because it's something you know and you are uh obsessed with it right now. So use it to your advantage.
I understand.
No, okay, good. And then let's move on to part three, which is still on the topic of things that are, or possessions, right? So I saw for um I think question two, you kind of didn't understand the question. Do you think people's attitude towards possessions are changing? So you can see how the part three questions are kind of like a little bit higher level. The language could be a bit more difficult. Um, and it's just talking about like in general, people in general, where you give your opinion, right? You can also still use examples, but usually it's more open. So question two, like it's asking specifically about people's attitudes, possessions. Like, do people basically you can change it in your mind to like, do people still value possessions or the things they own, right? Do they still value possessions nowadays, or is it so easily acquired? Like you can just get new things all the time. Now, do people not care as much about their possessions anymore? Like, doesn't matter if it like slightly broken, they don't fix it, they just throw it away and buy something new? Or do you think people still do value their possessions, right? So that's it. That's the question. So this one would be like you going off topic or you didn't understand the question, right? So yeah, watch out for those. Mm,
Mm.
but it's also part of, building up your vocabulary. Mm. And then
Understand?
actually go back to the first question. Why do people value some objects more than others? Um, Oh, one thing here is you said something about they lost some item, but it would be lose it, right? Or lost would be like in the past, I lost it, or they don't want to lose it. So memory, you said something about memory, so it would be more like sentimental value. The value is not in the what the item is worth, but it's more like the memories that are attached to that item. So that's what is sentimental value instead of the memory from that item, right? So it's kind of like a higher level vocabulary you can use instead of because people have memories with this item, right? And in your culture, what kinds of things are considered valuable? So this one you said at the beginning, you said, "Oh, I don't really know much about the culture or like what people think." It's okay to express that you don't know, but try to change it or into, well, I haven't really thought about it much before, or I haven't given it a lot of thought or of time. Or just say, well, let me think. I think usually people are sentimental about, um, usable things. As long as something is still usable or not completely destroyed, then they can just, fix it up and then use it until it's unusable. So you gave the example of the car, your dad's car is good. You can even go into it a little bit more. Or you can just do like a personal perspective. Like, well, in my experience, people around me tend to hold on um to the things they have until they can no longer use it. So they would always prefer to just, fix things up and keep using them instead of throwing away and buying something new. And so, yeah, you can say maybe that's a common thing in the Vietnamese culture, right? Do people generally become more or less materialistic as they get older? So your answer is no, right? Less materialistic. So they don't continue to accumulate more new things, but they hold on to the old things because again, they have sentimental value. The memories are more important than like the new shiny things. Good. I'll do advertisements. So this one, yeah, I think also you didn't really understand it. How do advertisements? You know advertisement, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
It's
So
some
basically,
kind.
just
I know advertising.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Uh,
I don't know how to explain, but I still understand it.
yeah, advertisements is basically just, you see it everywhere now. So the question is asking like, do those advertisements do they influence the value that people give to their possessions, to the things that they own, right? And you didn't really understand that, so you couldn't give like a good answer for that. Um, but yeah, just give your opinion here. I think maybe depending on what you think, you can say, or if you don't quite know what to say, I think you can go personal. Um, uh, Considering myself and the people around me, we're not that influenced. We're not affected by advertisements very much. So I think it hasn't really changed how we value our possessions, right? So keep it simple always, but then especially try to keep it simple when you don't have much to say or you're not confident about your answer. And then finally, do you think it's better to own things or to share through renting, borrowing? You just said ownership is better, right?
Yeah,
There's
always,
no
always.
worries.
I think that will be
Yeah,
always better on
yeah,
top.
no worries. Yeah. Um, yeah, yeah. You can even go into like because the examples they give is like renting. So like renting house or I mean renting apartment or something, or like borrowing some items from friends and families. So yeah, so you have a definitive answer, 100%. Always, I try to own everything that I have. I prefer to own, right? Because then I don't need to worry about if something goes wrong, it gets broken, whatever, right? So good.
I'm always
It's like
trying to be
a
better.
yeah. Um, yeah. But
Mm,
yeah, overall good. But of course, you kind of that's just kind of like preliminary. So I get an idea of where you are strong and weak, right? So in terms of like content, I think definitely that's what you are strong. That's your strong point. Like you can pretty much just go into an answer and you have something to say for most of them. So that's a good sign. And then just kind of work on like the maybe even slow down a little bit and think about your answer more. Uh, and yeah, vocab and then grammar, speaking
yeah.
grammar, and then yeah, yeah. I just noticed some mistakes here and there, and then just obvious word choices. Yeah,
Oh God.
but yeah, it's the most important thing is you being able to, have conversations like, oh, and also another thing, you kind of use a little bit too slang-ish, too many slangs. Uh, for real. It's like things like that. Probably not a good idea to use it for the actual test. But yeah, just to
Understand everything.
it's kind of like uh, it is quite casual, the speaking. It's kind of like a casual conversation, but still, like try to limit the slangs, or especially the like Gen Z slang or younger generation slang. It's not it's not quite formal enough. Right. Yeah, so I think those are my notes for now, and I think that's good for today. And then I will just send you the rest. Um, and for the speaking and well, I mean the reading and listening. Let me see,
Mm,
but just
yeah.
check in the group, right?
Yeah, for
And then
listening and Teacher Bond, may I say
yeah,
something? So after
mhm.
the class today, is it okay if you can send Ra his feedback about speaking performance today? Also for writing, there will be two essays, one for task one and one for task two, and he should be completed it within 60 minutes. For reading and listening, may I suggest that he would go to that website. I just found out that website on some of the group, and that one is called UPassed. So he just directly enrolled his account into that website, and then he gonna finish one reading and one listening test for IELTS Cambridge 19 within
Mhm.
the time
Yeah.
limit, and then he will be
Okay.
sending us the result when he's done. Is it possible?
Okay. And this is all free, right?
Yeah, this is all free. You don't have to pay any fee for that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. You pass.
Yeah, you passed. Okay.
Okay.
And then Zach, have you seen my share screen? You can just jump into the menu and then you choose the reading full test over here. Okay. And right behind your eyes, there will be test one for IELTS Cambridge 19. Wait me for 1 second. Okay. You can just log in with your email. So it's quite like easy to find down the test over here. So try to find Cambridge 19 test one and then complete it within 60 minutes, right? And then for read listening, you can just click on it with the full test and then choose IELTS Cambridge 19 for listening. Ok. Ừ, ok, vậy thì sau bài hôm nay thì sẽ nhờ ra là ra vào cái upass.com này, sau đó thì em sẽ đăng nhập bằng tài khoản email và em sẽ làm cho thầy Von test số 19, bài Cambridge 19 test 1 và 2. Thì hôm nay thì em có thể là hôm nay chủ nhật mà không bị bận gì thì có thể tiện lắm luôn nhé.
Mai rảnh hơn ạ.
Ok,
Tại
thế
vì cũng
câu
đang hè
hỏi,
mà.
thế câu hỏi này, hôm nay đang là mùa hè thì em có được về quê không hay em vẫn đang học ở chương trình FPT?
Em đang ở trên Ocean Park.
À đang Ocean Park à? Thì có nghĩa là đang nghỉ hè thôi đúng không? Chứ không phải là đang đi học đúng không?
Vâng
Alo?
ạ.
Ừ, ok. Rồi thế thì bây giờ như này nhá. Cho câu hỏi một chút là cái lịch trình của em ý là hiện giờ thì thứ nhất đó là tháng mấy năm sau em thi? Tháng mấy năm sau em thi nhỉ? Can you hear me?
Chắc hè lớp 12 đi ạ.
Hè lớp 12 tức là
À
khoảng
nhầm,
khoảng
hè lớp 11.
thế là
Chắc
khoảng
tầm hè lớp 11 hoặc là đầu năm lớp 12.
thế là tầm khoảng độ tháng 8 năm sau hay tháng 9 năm sau phải không?
Vâng,
Có phải là
đúng rồi
tháng
ạ.
tháng 8 năm 2016, vậy mình sẽ có khoảng tầm 4 năm nhá. Đấy là cái đầu tiên. Cái thứ hai nữa là bây giờ cô đang muốn hỏi
Đúng
là
rồi ạ.
về cái lịch hè của em thì bây giờ đang trong giai đoạn hè thì em nghỉ hè từ tháng bây giờ hôm nay là ngày mùng 8 tháng 6 thì em nghỉ hè đến ngày bao nhiêu?
Chắc tới tầm giữa tháng 8.
Ừ, giữa tháng 8. Thế thì bây giờ cứ để 15 tháng 8. Vậy thì trước hết là trong cái giai đoạn này thì thầy Von sẽ đồng hành cùng với em, có thể là nếu như ok được thì từ tuần sau là mình bắt đầu học luôn để cho tiết kiệm thời gian á. Thì một tuần em có thể học được mấy buổi?
Được ạ.
Ừ. Một tuần em có thể học được mấy buổi trong giai đoạn hè này?
Thế nào? Chắc 3 buổi đi, hoặc là
Ok, 3 buổi nhá, 3 buổi cho
3 buổi là hợp lý rồi.
tại vì các bạn là đang hè đang rảnh mà thì cố gắng học tập trung đúng không? Đấy thì cho mình hỏi là hiện giờ thì tất cả các buổi sáng, buổi chiều, buổi tối em đều rảnh hết hay là
Âu,
em đang có cái lịch nào đang bị bận?
chắc là học buổi tối là được ạ. Buổi tối
Ờ,
mấy
thường
giờ được nhỉ?
thì
Tối mấy giờ?
thầy Von sẽ prefer là buổi sáng chiều hơn đó, bởi vì buổi tối thì thường thầy hay có công việc bận đấy. Nên là ví dụ như một
Buổi
buổi
chiều,
ở một buổi tầm 1 tiếng rưỡi 2 tiếng của mình thì mình có thể làm vào buổi chiều thì gọn ghẽ.
buổi chiều mấy giờ được ạ?
Thầy Bon thì không biết là từ thứ hai thứ sáu thầy Bon rảnh buổi chiều nào ạ? Và thời gian thảnh rảnh của thầy ạ?
Tại vì buổi
Ờ,
sáng con đi tập rồi, còn
Ok.
buổi chiều chả rảnh mỗi buổi chiều với buổi tối rồi.
Ừ, thế buổi chiều nhá. Thế buổi chiều mình nghĩ là thầy Bon sẽ tiện buổi chiều hơn đúng không? Bởi vì buổi tối thầy hay bận đấy ạ.
mà
Vâng. Thế buổi
để
chiều
em phải xem, để em xem lại.
dạ.
Nhưng mà
Thế
chiều chiều là chiều từ mấy giờ? Chiều từ từ 1 hay là 2 giờ là trở đi là được cái gì?
tầm 1 giờ trở đi là được đúng không ra?
1 giờ trở đi được ạ.
Ok, 1 giờ nói chung là mình học gọn gàng tầm từ đến 2 rưỡi 3 giờ là xong thì em đi làm việc của em mà nó cũng sớm sủa ấy, chứ mình học muộn nhiều khi nó cũng
Vâng,
nó cũng không tiện. Thế thì mình cứ để là 1 giờ đến tầm 3 giờ là cái thời gian mà mình nghĩ là tiện cho cả thầy Bon, tức là xong thì thầy cũng có thể có công việc riêng của thầy thầy đi làm ấy. Đấy.
vâng.
Ừ. Thì thầy Văn có thể cho mình xin cái thời gian rảnh của thầy từ 1 đến 3 giờ chiều các ngày trong tuần thì bạn ý mong muốn được học 3 buổi trong giai đoạn này vì đang nghỉ hè thầy ạ.
Vâng, để em xem lại rồi nhắn
Vâng.
nhắn trong trong nhóm nữa.
Vâng, thank you thầy. Để có gì thầy xem giúp mình cái này. Còn lại thì ví dụ nhá, ví dụ ca sáng con tập boxing cả một buổi sáng hay là ví dụ có lúc nào 2 tiếng rảnh không?
Cả buổi sáng hết ạ.
Ok, cả buổi sáng hết được rồi. Thế
Con
ừ. Thế thì con rảnh con cả thứ bảy chủ nhật cũng thế luôn hả? Không có một cái sáng nào rảnh à?
con đi tập hết cô ạ. Hi
Ờ.
hi hi.
Ok. Thế thì bây giờ mình sẽ có là mình cứ để fix lịch chiều như này thầy Von nhé. Thì mình nghĩ là nó cũng sẽ dễ dàng hơn. Thì có gì thầy cho bạn ý xin một cái thời gian của 3 buổi. Đấy. Thế thì với cái phần hôm nay thì mình nghĩ là thầy Von sẽ đưa ra một cái feedback rất là kỹ về phần speaking cho Gia nha. Thì mình thấy
Vâng,
bản thân của Gia có một cái điểm mạnh là em phản xạ rất là tốt, rất là nhanh. Nhưng mà chắc chắn là thầy có vừa mới nhận xét rất là kỹ cho từng câu của em rồi đó. Thì bây giờ phải cải thiện cả về vocab,
vâng ạ.
về grammar và quan trọng là cái pace luyện nói của Gia cần phải slow down một chút, tức là nhiều khi mình nói nhanh một phát
Vâng,
thành thử ra là mình sẽ bị mất âm cuối và trọng âm từ nhiều đúng không? Đấy thì mình slow
vâng. Tại vì
down một chút. Thì cái này chắc là học với thầy Von thì em sẽ improve được rất là lớn về speaking, nên là Gia cứ từ từ để chúng ta cải thiện em nhé.
vâng ạ.
Ok, đấy thì bây giờ cô chốt được cái lịch này là ok rồi này. Thì thứ hai nữa là cô muốn nhờ ra là có thể active hơn trong nhóm Zalo nhé. Ví dụ như cô tag em thì em có thấy thông tin thì em thả tim hoặc là em rep lại để cho mọi người biết. Đấy là cái thứ nhất. Thứ hai nữa là sau buổi hôm nay thì ngày mai ra ngồi làm cho cô test IELTS Cambridge test 19 test 1 2 reading listening để xem là thực chất là cái reading listening của em hiện giờ đang ở tầm nào. Bởi vì nếu như mình đang ở tầm
Rõ.
5 chấm thì mình phải cố gắng rất là nhiều để mình lên được 7,5, tức là mình phải ôn đề liên tục, mình phải có chiến thuật nhá. Thì phần đấy thì thầy sẽ
Vâng.
dạy cho mình rất là kỹ trong khóa học. Thế thứ hai nữa là phần writing tí thầy Von sẽ gửi cho em một writing task 1 và task 2. Thì
Dạ.
task 1 làm trong 20 phút, task 2 làm trong 40 phút. Mình cứ làm đúng thực chất của mình, có cái gì viết đấy, không nhất thiết là mình phải tham khảo ở đâu, bởi vì thầy sẽ biết là mình đang ở level nào để thầy boost cho mình lên được tầm writing 7 chấm cho mình nhá. Ok không?
Chắc chắn rồi ạ.
Ok rồi đấy, thế thôi thì cô chỉ có chia sẻ như vậy thôi. Không biết thầy Von có dặn dò gì thêm ra trước khi mình kết thúc buổi hôm nay không ạ?
Ờ, nghĩ vậy là cũng ok
Ủa,
rồi, bây giờ cứ chuẩn bị vào vào học thôi,
Vâng,
chuẩn
vâng
bị
ạ.
tinh thần vào học.
Dạ vâng, cố gắng chuẩn bị tinh thần học ra nhá. Cô thấy con rất có tiềm năng đấy, và 7,5 đối với con là hoàn toàn đạt được trong một năm tới, nên các bạn phải cố gắng lên nhá.
7,5 thấp nhất cô ạ, phải cao hơn nữa để ăn cố.
Cao hơn nữa đúng không? Ừ, thì cô bảo bảy
Vâng.
chấm năm là thấp nhất nhưng mà con phải êm 8 chấm cho cô nhá.
Vâng ạ.
Ừ,
sang
nhưng mà nếu mà
sang
con
nước ngoài.
con định đi du học ở nước nào?
Con định qua Anh cô ạ.
Bao giờ? Tức là sau khi lớp 12 là con sang Anh luôn à?
Không, con cố để sang bên đấy thôi, nếu được có học bổng.
Ừ, thầy cố lên. Thì thật ra là như này này, như là cô đã nói với con rồi là bây giờ con học tiếng Anh ấy thì điểm nó chỉ là một phần thôi dạ. Cái quan trọng nhất là cái communicative competence như thế này này. Nên khi con học với thầy Von ấy thì con phải rất là tận dụng được cái điều đó, bởi vì thầy là người bản xứ, thầy quốc tịch Mỹ, và thầy quan trọng không phải IELTS 8,5 hay bao nhiêu nữa, mà quan trọng là cách mà thầy dùng tiếng Anh để làm việc, để có thể sử dụng được trong cuộc sống đời thật ấy. Thì đấy là cái mà con
Rồi ạ.
cần phải học từ thầy. Chứ còn điểm trác đối với
Vâng.
cô nó chỉ là con số thôi. Bởi vì con có được 7,5 hay 8 chấm nó cũng chỉ cách nhau có 0,5 thôi mà. Con hiểu không? Thế nên rằng là đấy là lý do vì sao mà cô rất mong muốn là lớp này con đồng hành cùng với thầy Von. Chứ còn các giáo viên IELTS của cô thì các cô giáo khác thì cũng vẫn sẽ có. Nhưng cô thấy là thầy Von là phù hợp nhất để có thể boost được cái khả năng sử dụng tiếng Anh trong môi trường đời sống cho con ấy. Đấy, nên là
Vâng
bây
ạ.
giờ cái quá trình học của con là con phải thực sự là mình học để dùng được, chứ điểm trác đừng quan trọng quá. Đấy, thứ hai nữa đó là nếu như muốn dùng được thì cái phần speaking của con cố gắng là con nhờ thầy sửa cho nhiều hơn về pronunciation. Phát âm của con phải chậm lại, phải tròn vành rõ chữ ra, âm cuối không được bỏ, trọng âm từ phải rõ ràng. Thì như thế thì mai sau con có đi present, con có đi làm việc, có
Rõ.
đi sang Anh thì con sẽ thấy là nó sẽ giúp mình rất nhiều. Đó, thế nên là cố gắng ra nhá.
Vâng.
Ừ, thế trong ngày mai thì con hoàn thành cho cô là bài test đọc, nghe và viết đi, để đến ngày kia để cô báo điểm cho mẹ. Sau đó thì cô xếp lịch để có thể học sớm nhất có thể cho con.
Rõ.
Ok, rồi. Ok, vậy thì cảm ơn thầy Von rất nhiều, và nhờ thầy thật sự là phải gửi gắm thầy ra cho thầy, bởi vì bạn ấy có một cái tham vọng rất là lớn. Bạn ấy mong muốn là được sang Anh học và điểm phải IELTS 8 chấm. 8 chấm và bây giờ đang
Vâng.
tầm 5
Ôi,
chấm. Nên phải cố
qua
lên.
đấy còn chẳng làm gì đặc biệt, con lại đi tập tiếp cô ạ.
Bao giờ?
Nếu mà được qua đấy thì tuyệt rồi, càng sớm càng tốt.
Ừ, được rồi, ok. Nhưng mà con phải học hết lớp 12 con mới sang chứ, hay là có học bổng phát là con sang luôn không cần lớp 12?
Ui, có học bổng rồi lớp 12, hết lớp 12 con sang luôn cô ạ. Được
Được.
thế là tốt.
Ừ đấy, được thế là tốt đúng không? Đỡ
Thế
phí một năm
thì
ở Việt Nam đúng không?
kiểu sang đấy chủ yếu con tập bốc là chính cô ạ, chứ con học
Ok.
vừa vừa, xong kiếm xong kiếm cái bằng đại học, xong lại đi đấm bốc tiếp, xong kiếm nghề, xong lại đấm bốc tiếp.
Rồi rồi.
Ôi giời.
Thế là đam mê của mình là boxing, tức là sang Anh thì cái môi trường boxing nó tốt à? Mình muốn sang đấy để phát triển cái sự nghiệp boxing của mình à?
Vâng ạ. Nó
Ồ.
đứng thứ hai thế giới nhưng mà nó an toàn hơn Mỹ cô ạ.
Rồi rồi rồi. Thế bố mẹ lại muốn con sang đấy học business để trở thành CEO thì con lại không thích, con thích sang để học boxing thôi.
Vâng, con sang đấy học tài càng.
Hay nhỉ. Ok ok, hiểu hiểu hiểu. Tức là sang để thỏa mãn đam mê boxing và thành vận động viên chuyên nghiệp luôn đấy.
Vâng, bây giờ con đang là vận động viên nghiệp dư rồi.
Ây à, xịn xịn xịn. Thế thì
Bán
khi
nghiệp dư
nào
rồi ạ, bán nghiệp dư.
thế thì khi nào con gặp thầy
Semi.
Bon? Thầy Bon đang ở Hà Nội đấy, hôm nào con gặp thầy trực tiếp xong rồi con dạy thầy vài đường boxing.
Okay.
Semi amateur, semi amateur.
Semi amateur à? Ồ,
Vâng.
được được được. Thế nó có chia là kiểu nếu như karate là đai đen, đai đỏ, đai xanh thì bọn em con có boxing găng vàng, găng đỏ không?
Không ạ, găng mình dùng màu gì là được.
Thế nó không có kiểu con lên level C1 thì lên đai đen như kiểu thế không có à?
Không ạ, boxing là phải tự nhận biết qua thôi, nếu mà đi đánh ấy thì người ta sẽ cho bằng cô ạ.
Ồ, certificate hả?
Vâng,
Ừ.
bằng là có hạng, bằng hạng C, nếu mà nghiệp dư là nó sẽ là bằng nghiệp dư này.
Ừ.
Xong rồi từ nghiệp dư lên bằng chuyên nghiệp hạng C, chuyên nghiệp hạng B,
Ừ.
chuyên nghiệp hạng A,
Ừ.
rồi đến chuyên nghiệp thế giới.
Thế thì con định vận đối với chuyên nghiệp thì con định thi đấu hay là con muốn trở thành trainer?
Con đi thi đấu xong khi nào kiểu gì nhỉ, 40 45 tuổi không đấu được nữa con mới đi trainer thôi.
Thế cái ước mơ đó đã trao đổi với bố mẹ chưa hay bố mẹ lại mong muốn mình trở thành bác sĩ hoặc kỹ sư hoặc businessman?
Bố mẹ con vẫn muốn con businessman nhưng mà cho cái đấy của con là nghề phụ.
À được, ok. Thế thì bây giờ mình nên keep balance giữa cả business và cả boxing nhá.
Vâng.
Ừ, ok, được rồi. Đấy thì tình hình như thế là rất là tốt bởi vì là nếu mà con học như vậy thì con học với thầy Von là chuẩn bài rồi bởi vì thầy cho con cái khả năng giao tiếp trong đời sống. Còn IELTS speaking con thấy đấy, nó trên một cái khuôn khổ nhiều khi nó cũng hơi bị cứng nhắc quá ấy. Thì
Vâng.
nếu như con muốn được IELTS kiểu speaking tốt thì mình nghĩ cái quan trọng nhất là độ tự nhiên trong quá trình nói. Chứ còn ban giám khảo người ta giờ bây giờ tinh lắm. Tôi thấy kiểu mình học thuộc lòng bài mẫu xong rồi thấy mình cứ sử dụng những cái cấu trúc nó fix ý là người ta cũng chỉ cho điểm thấp thôi. Nhưng mà quan trọng nhất là mình phải tự tin, tự nhiên và mình giống như kiểu mình đang conversate nó như đang giao tiếp bình thường ấy trong đời sống rồi ấy. Đấy thì nó
Vâng.
ổn hơn. Ok rồi, cảm ơn con. Thế thì mai ngồi làm luôn cho cô nhé để thầy chấm điểm và thầy đưa ra cái lộ trình để tầm mục tiêu nếu mà tầm độ tháng 8 năm sau thi thì mình cứ nên thi 2 lần, một lần thì để tháng 6 thi đi, xong sau đó thì một lần tháng 8. Đấy, nếu như không đạt em
Vâng,
thì chúng ta thi ôn tiếp 2 tháng để thi tiếp. Thế
hiểu rồi
thì
ạ.
cho câu hỏi một chút nhé, thì bây giờ nếu như mà từ bây giờ đến tháng 8 con có thể học được một tuần 3 buổi thì nếu như mà đến vào năm học từ tháng 9 thì con có học được 3 buổi chiều không?
Ừm, con chỉ học được tối thôi, và năm học con học tối quá.
Vào năm học con học tối, thế thì nếu mà tối ví dụ như là tối muộn con vẫn học được đúng không?
Tối muộn chắc là tầm 7 giờ trở đi quá, 7 rưỡi.
Yeah, muộn nhất là có thể học được là 7 rưỡi đến mấy giờ buổi tối?
7 7 rưỡi đến 9 rưỡi, 9 giờ.
Ok.
7 rưỡi đến 9 giờ cô ạ.
Ờ, thế nhưng mà vào năm học thì mình có thể học được cuối tuần nữa mà đúng không?
Cuối tuần đấy ạ.
Ừ,
Cuối tuần con phải lên trường cô nên hơi khó.
được rồi, thế cứ xếp lịch hè đã nhá, xong rồi lịch trong năm thì lại xếp tiếp nhá.
Vâng ạ.
Ok, ok, rồi. Cảm ơn thầy Von, cảm ơn Giang rất nhiều và hẹn gặp lại mọi người vào tuần sau,
Dạ.
khi một tuần sau mình nữa phải khởi động khóa này luôn được rồi ạ.
Okay.
Dạ.
Thank you.
Thank you
Ừ.
everybody. Goodbye.
Vâng.
Bye bye.
Vâng, bye bye, see you.
Chào
Ok.
mọi người.
Chào Giang. À thầy Von ơi, trong